Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And what a hot morning it is. Can I just say thank you to the lovely Amanda who sent me a little message this morning with her concise weather forecast. She said, morning, Ginge, still yellow alert warning for extreme high temperatures, sunny and very hot. Temperatures 33. However, it will feel more like 36, expecting a heat wave from Wednesday through till Saturday. Have a great day. Well, I've got to be honest, yesterday it was not as hot as the day before, which was fortunate for the lovely Lady Jane, who was up at the shipwreck yesterday with 260 people spread across 7 coaches. And what a crazy day it turned out to be yesterday. Because guess what? It looks like TUI are coming. It was all hands to the pumps yesterday afternoon, which is a great morale boost for everybody who's got a holiday booked. We've got 2 flights flying in today. I'll just quickly go through the flights today that are coming in, just in general, before I concentrate on the British. At the moment, we've got 2 Czech flights coming in. We've got 1 Slovenian flight, 2 Italy ones, 3 Poland, 2 Hungary, 1 Brussels, 1 Paris flight as well from France. And today at 18:55, we've got a TUI flight in from Gatwick. And at 11:45 this morning, we have a TUI flight in from Manchester. Now, what that means, not only is that TUI customers that are basically now going to be all hands to the pumps with the arrival of the British, it also means that other companies that use TUI as their way of getting their guests to their accommodation, like Olympic holidays, they were again rushing about yesterday getting ready. It was a bit of a shock, actually, I think, for a lot of them that all of a sudden TUI have decided, yeah, that's it, we're going to actually do something. And we're talking TUI UK, not TUI Europe, but TUI UK. So again, I did have messages from people yesterday saying that their holidays, some of them have been cancelled, some of them have had new dates given to them. But on the whole, this is looking like maybe this could be the start of something. So once again, we'll keep our eye on this. I know Jane has to meet the Gatwick TUI flight tonight, 18:55, because Olympic holidays have got people on board those flights. So again, it looks like maybe, just maybe, fingers crossed, things are going to start to take a turn for the better. Also as well, just quickly, those people asking after Wiggy, I had a small update yesterday from Derek Cole over in Limassol, Cyprus. Fingers crossed for Wiggy. They're still working to get Safa involved with him at the moment. Unfortunately, he's still in the ICU undergoing treatment. I did try to speak to his wife yesterday, but it was difficult trying to get hold of her. But anyway, I have been sending good wishes from people from all over to Wiggy, and hopefully we may have some more news later today as to how he is progressing. Let's have a quick look then at the COVID for the last 24 hours. I'll just turn myself around so you can see me. Once again, Galimera says Steve Hinkling, fingers crossed on flights. Thank you. Andrew Stoker says, morning, Ginge, up early today, tuning in live. Tony and Donna, nice to have you looking in. So anyway, COVID in the last 24 hours, infection rates have gone up just slightly. It was 236 new infections. That has risen to 362 in the last 24 hours. There's been 11 new cases identified by checks into the country. That was up on the day before when there were 7. No new cases been reported here on Zakynthos, but 2 have been reported in Kefalonia. As for deaths numbers have actually dropped, which is good to see. We had 18 deaths reported on the last podcast. That is now 8 new deaths being reported on this podcast. That is 12,646 deaths since the pandemic started. When it comes to the ICUs at the moment, with critical cases, that's actually dropped quite considerably, actually. Last time I reported to you, it was 231 deaths. Today, 215 deaths, 143 male, 72 female. Once again, our condolences to those families that are affected. Sorry. what am I saying? That's death. So I say, once again, 143 female, 143 male, 72 female. The average age of people in ICUs at the moment, 67 years of age. 83% of them have underlying health conditions. But at least, anyway, the numbers going down from 231 down to 215. So once again, that's heading in the right direction. Right now, today's news then, just to remind you that last night there was lifting of restrictive measures, or some restrictive measures here in Greece. As of yesterday then, the curfew now has gone. So basically, you can be out as long as you like now. You don't have to be back in your house by a certain time. That is good news for bars and restaurants, etc. That means they don't have to close and they can stay open for as long as they want to stay open, as long as they've got people in there that they're going to serve in the first place. Also as well, for the restaurants then yesterday, they can now increase the amount of people at tables from 6 to 8. From 6 to 10, which again is an improvement of sorts. However, the thing that hasn't been rescinded at the moment is about using inside space. Everything has to still be outside. Again, this can impede businesses, especially businesses that don't have a very large outdoor area. Also, again, it means for the likes of myself, etc., where a lot of what I have to do is generated from inside. Again, I can't technically work at the moment. One, because the restrictions are still in place, and two, because we just haven't got the people to justify wages and money and payment, etc. But anyway, hopefully, as of today, now that these TUI seems to be starting operations at the moment, maybe that may be starting to come to an end. Anyway, also as well, the bribery is now coming out from Mr. Mitsotakis. In mid-July, the Greek government is launching a free digital prepaid card called the Freedom Pass, yes, which is going to be worth 150 euros to Greek citizens aged between 18 to 25, so I'm not going to get it, who have received at least one COVID-19 vaccination in 2021. Now, this Freedom Pass will enable you to pay for tourist and cultural activities such as air, ferry, road transport. So you can get a bus or you can go on the ferry or on the train. It can also be used with car rental as well. So you got 150 euros worth of car rental, accommodation, and also campsites as well. Also with travel agencies, it can be used again, I think, as a part of a payment for booking yourself a trip somewhere. Also, you can use it to go to the cinema, theatrical and musical dance performances, and also for getting into museums and archaeological sites where you have to pay for entry. So again, interesting. There we go. 150 euros worth of free stuff if you have the vaccine. Interesting. And if you are interested, maybe you've had it and you do fall in the criteria 18 to 25, so that's not going to affect me. That basically you can apply for this on the gov.gr website, but that will be later in July. All right, so there you go. Eat your heart out. Anyway, the chair of the Greek National Vaccination Committee has said both vaccine doses are vital for adequate protection from the Delta variant strain of the coronavirus. Speaking on Monday during a regular COVID-19 pandemic briefing, Maria Tharadoula urged anyone who has not sought a vaccination to get inoculated. Maybe they're going to wait until the Freedom Pass comes out. Anyway, she said the Delta strain will soon be the dominant variant and will be 90% more transmissible and will affect mostly unvaccinated people, including children. She stressed inoculating oneself with both doses of either the Pfizer or the AstraZeneca vaccine provides 96% and 92% respectively from the Delta variant. People who take only one of the two doses of the vaccine have have only 30% protection from the Delta variant, making it essential to avail of the second dose, she said. Anyway, citing a recent US medical study, Theodoru underlined that 96% of COVID-19 related deaths concerned unvaccinated people. Meanwhile, the Greek Health Secretary, Marios Trialalos, told the briefing a total of 8.1 million vaccinations have been administered to date. He also added 45% of people in Greece have received one dose of the vaccine, while 35% have completed their inoculation with both doses. So there you go. More pressure then for those people who don't want the vaccine to take it. And again, I shall wait and see how things pan out, to be quite honest. Anyway, another story, not COVID related, but to do with the Greek military. And as you know, being an ex-serviceman, I always like to keep a little eye on what happens within military circles. But this is an interesting story that was published this morning. Following the Israeli Brooklyn, and at the moment, Greece and Israel are doing a lot of stuff together in the terms of defence. Greece's defence ministry is reportedly developing a plan whereby the mandatory military service of conscription will be used to develop additional professional skills for not only the conscripts' benefit, but also for the benefit of the armed forces and the state apparatus as a whole. Sounds very interesting. Anyway, the plan, which seeks to tap into the qualifications of conscripts and enhance their skills, is being drafted in collaboration with a technical advisor from the Digital Policy Ministry. Now, more specifically, the ultimate aim is to match the qualifications and talents of incoming conscripts with the needs of the army as far as it is possible. Now, the plan foresees a large database with information provided by the new recruits. With this as a guide, army authorities will be able to ensure that conscripts are trained in their fields of expertise so that by the end of their term, they have gained additional experience and certified qualifications. What's more, conscripts with honours and distinctions from Pacific University faculties will be placed in key positions. Now, a typical example of the plan is IT graduates who have passed, who may be placed at the Cyber Defence Directorate of the Hellenic National Defence General Staff. Similarly, law graduates would be appointed to the legal offices of the Minister and Deputies of Defence and in departments that have jurisdiction over military contracts. Qualified engineers, meanwhile, will work on production or maintenance of weapons systems. This way, the tenure of conscripts will be part of an internship in subjects that can later be a field of professional engagement, while at the same time the armed forces themselves will be able to make the best use of conscripts, and obviously they'll all be on a database and they can pull them in as and when required. Anyway, the project, which is expected to be developed in 2 phases, has already been approved by the Greek Prime Minister, Mr. Takis. Anyway, the Greek press understands that the programme will begin with the signing of a memorandum of cooperation between the Ministries of Defence and Digital Policy at the beginning of next year. However, an interim programme will be launched sooner, aimed at enhancing the knowledge of conscripts already doing their military service. In particular, vouchers are being considered mainly for the acquisition of digital skills during military service. There we go, vouchers again. Well, anyway, a good thing, I think, to be quite honest. A lot of people say that when they do their conscription, they are quite busy at the beginning of their training, and then the rest of it, it's just like sometimes they feel like it's all a bit of a waste of time, and they'd rather be getting on and doing something. So in one respect, once they've done their initial basic training and they're sent to their units, obviously I can see the idea behind this, and it is a good idea. But the fact that if you've got somebody who's just spent the last few years at university studying engineering is going to sit on a guard post somewhere for the next, as it is at the moment, conscription has been raised to 9 months from 6. He'd be far better off actually working on equipment that the Greek forces has. and obviously learn more about that and obviously get skilled on that. And as when required, if anything should go on, then obviously people with experience can be brought into service and obviously make sure this gear works, especially when you look at the cost of a lot of this gear, how expensive it is and how specialist it can be as well. Right, so again, that's a good story. Anyway, you might remember last week we had the story of the Greek priest, the 37-year-old priest who was arrested over an attack against 7 senior Greek bishops and 3 others with caustic liquid. On June the 24th, was given one more day to prepare his testimony on Monday. You might also remember that our bishop from here was also one of the victims of the attack. Anyway, the accused will be led before an investigative magistrate at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. The extension was granted because his medical file had not been sent to the magistrate's office. Anyway, the attack took place after the bishops had decided on disciplinary measures against the priest for alleged drug trafficking. The victims suffered injuries from corrosive liquid on their face and hands and were treated in hospitals. The priest had been committed to the Dromakakio Mental Health Hospital under police guard pending psychiatric evaluation. And finally, a nice little story, well, not really a nice little story, an interesting story. As you're probably aware, Wimbledon kicked off yesterday. French Open runner-up, Stefanos Tsitsipas has been upset in the first round of Wimbledon by France's Tafur of the United States. The 57-ranked Tafur applied pressure by charging the net very often and won 6-4, 6-4, 6-3. He had been ranked 11th previously against the player in the top 5. Anyway, Tafur won 24 points at the net and saved all 7 break points he faced. Tsitsipas was seeded 3rd and had won more matches than any other player on the men's tour this year. He reached his first Grand Slam final at Roland Garros this month, that was in France, before squandering a 2-set lead in the final against Novak Djokovic. Anyway, Tsitsipas lost in the first round at Wimbledon for the 3rd time in 4 appearances. Hadn't realised he'd actually been to Wimbledon before. But then again, I'm not sure if he's still in a game. You never know, he might just be slow to start. But anyway, we have been following. You might remember that his grandmother passed away and he actually gave up a place to play in the German Open. Was it the German Open? And also at the warm-up for Wimbledon as well. So basically, we'll see how he gets on. Right, that's it for the news for today. Once again, just to remind you that England are playing Germany tonight. And again, the rhetoric is that Germany, Angela Merkel, wants to ban the Brits from Europe. Be interesting to see what happens tonight with the German fans going to watch at Wembley. We'll see how many VIPs are there for the football who don't have to quarantine, don't have to do anything, just turn up and enjoy themselves while everybody else has to stand in the street or listen to the shouts and the screams coming from Wembley, or watch it on TV or watch it on big screen. So that's going to be interesting. And also, I just pray, please, England, win tonight. Just for the morale of the country, you need to win tonight. It's going to be a tough game. The Germans are renowned for not taking prisoners, shall we say. Make of that what you will. But again, I will be in Magdalena's this evening. I'm going to be doing some Vox Pops before the game, like last week, and see what people's opinions are. See how things have been in Magdalena's over the last week as well. And again, we'll see if anybody turns up from the 2 flights that are in today, one from Manchester and also one from Gatwick, from TUI. Again, I would think a lot of people in Sillaby and in Kalamaki and in Laguna and in Ali Canaz and Ali Kes are all very excited by the arrival of Brits from TUI. Not only is it TUI holidays, but also we're talking people from other holiday companies like Olympic who rely on TUI to get their guests to their destination. So once again, I think this week could be a turning week in what's going to go on. Either The Brits are going to come freely without any more hindrance than what they're already getting from the UK. What we don't want is hindrance from Angela Merkel and also the French, Mr. Macron, saying that they're a danger to public health in Europe by bringing the British in, which I think is more Brexit than it is to do with health. But we won't go there at the moment because I've got to get on. Anyway, thank you once again for tuning in to all those people. I'll just give a quick shout. Jerry Coyle, Mark Wells, Treesaran Huggett. Lyndon says, good morning from Cardiff. A day in the garden today. Bless you, Lyndon. Steve Hinkley says, Gallimera, fingers crossed on flights. Yep, I agree 100% with you there on that, Steve. 1 minute they give it to you, the next minute they take it away. That seems to be the way at the moment. But anyway, we will wait and see. And also big shout out to Rosewood, who's also tuning in as well. Right, that's it from me. I'm off. I'll keep my ear to the ground. And once again, for those people arriving today, welcome to the island. And I will catch you later. You take care. Ta-ra.